All right. Good morning, everybody. Are we ready? Another Saturday is upon us. College football week 7. Week 7. It's going to be bowl season. Before we know it, I was just doing some things this morning and I realized I have to start researching college basketball. That's where we are. We're in the middle of October. That's the world we live in. I'm excited. I don't really have time to be doing that right now because we've got a lot of college football to dive into today. We're going to put some bets on the board live on this stream. We're going to answer your questions. We're going to talk about boosts. We're going to see what we can find out about this slate because it's a good one. It's not the world's best, but there's some big time matchups. Indiana and Oregon, Missouri and Alabama, Georgia and Auburn. That's a big game, no doubt about it. Illinois, Ohio State. I don't think there'll be an upset. Good morning. So yes, that's what we're going to be here to do. We'll give some people some time. It's a little early. That's right. People get their coffee, their breakfast. They'll file in. We'll start getting going here in just a second. But yeah, it's a pretty good slate. I'm happy with it. I'll bring up the board. Actually, there's no reason to wait. We don't need to dive into everything just yet. But let's just scan. Like I said, ranked versus ranked, ranked versus ranked. What else we got? UMass and Kent State, the actual worst game in history, potentially. Two of the true bad teams. Oh yeah, let's not bury the lead. Oklahoma and Texas, which who would have thunk that Texas would be the unranked team in this? I mean, that never in a million years with the preseason hype that they came in with, but Oklahoma's been awesome. We'll see what Mateer gives them. And we'll see if there's some upsets. You've got an Iowa State team, only a slight favorite. Georgia Tech is thoroughly in the ACC. Obviously, this is one of the games of the day. I don't see Tennessee slipping up. What else we got? Oh, yeah, this is another good one. Florida only plays top 10 teams. So this is just another week for them. But A&M, obviously trying to stay unbeaten. Michigan has to go out west against USC's high-powered offense. Maybe an over there. Georgia and Auburn. Kansas and Texas Tech, South Carolina and LSU, BYU in the desert. I'm going to have a play there. Arizona State in the mountains. I don't know. And that's about it. But a lot of ranked teams on this slate. We've got boosts as well. Yeah, man, it's going to be good. Boost Builder's a fun one. Obviously, we got these specific game ones. And then we've got just a flat one, which is pretty sick. You could apply it to anything. So we're going to talk about that. We need a nude game. Well, that's not going to be a problem. Coffee is for clothes. I don't drink coffee. Maybe that's a leak in my life. UNLV, they're interesting, kind of like a teaser piece, maybe. Let's say we can start. What else? Air Force doesn't play defense. Like they legitimately can't play defense. Hawaii torched them, and I saw that up close and personal. But yeah, I get it. It would be UNLV or pass. It's just all about how they handle the triple option. But let's get it started with these noon games. And let's get it started with the big time noon game. Alabama and Missouri. Weird game. Not in terms of, it's a standard SEC matchup, but there are a couple of interesting wrinkles. One, Missouri still hasn't played a road game. I don't really understand that. That's kind of absurd. But Missouri has just been living at home. They're still at home. They set up perfectly schedule-wise because they haven't played anybody, and they're off a bye. So they're healthy, and they're ready. But how good are they? Because Central Arkansas, Kansas, Louisiana, South Carolina, and UMass is not a great schedule. Alabama is the complete opposite. They are just playing big time opponents. Florida State, they lose. It seems like the season's over. They get right against UL Monroe, Wisconsin, then they have a bye. They go to Georgia and win, and then they beat Vanderbilt and covered. Thank you for that late touchdown last week. That was extremely lucky, but we will take it. I needed some luck. Alabama's D-line is beat up. And I do worry because there's no doubt that Ahmed Hardy, if you don't know that name, you're going to know that name. He's in the Genty category of elite running backs. He's fantastic. He's phenomenal. I still like Alabama in this game, though. I know laying points on the road, but there's some flat threes out there. These are 3.5 minus 105. Not bad. I just think Alabama honestly is simply better. I trust Ty Simpson immensely. He's been good. He's only got one pick on the year. They still have, a run game that can work. Offensive line, the run blocking could be a little better, but still, it's an Alabama team. Their defense, I trust more. I think Alabama is going to kind of show that they've been in this mode of beating some big-time teams. Missouri, it remains to be seen, but I'm telling you, I'm going to lay the point. I did lay the points. I actually put this in already. We'll get to where are we going? I have this on the card somewhere here. Let's see what we can muster up. I bet this the other day. Yeah, Alabama right there. I got it at 10, at 3, at minus 110. I just like them. Simple as that. It's a spot, and let's see what's out there. By the way, of course, you guys know this. This is tails. This is where you want to be. Look at this. One click, and you can see, okay, there's threes out there. Plenty of them, actually. You're laying some juice, no doubt, but I would do that. Or you could take the minus 105s on 3.5. But yeah, one click tailing. You guys know how to get this. Link in the description. This is free content. You come there and give me a follow, by the way. 3,100 of your friends already do that. Real cool stuff. But we're getting started with Alabama in the big-time noon kickoff. Sean Smith, how about something a little different and make a teaser card? Teasers in college football are not good for you, but my friend, we will do that on the way out. I will advertise it as just for fun. But I've been known when I'm in gamble mode to make a little 4-leg teaser and move it 14 points. We'll do that on the way out because that's really fun. I love that idea. Let's do it. All right, let's get to these other big games, though. We talked about Alabama and Missouri right here. Ohio State and Illinois. Not my strongest take in the world, but I do lean to the Illini. First of all, the totals come up a little bit, 52.5. I wonder if it's crossed at both. 51.5 here. Okay, so it is on the move. That bodes better for Ohio State than it does for Illinois. I think Illinois' best shot is to slow the game down, limit turnovers, and hope that Sayin isn't really doing anything through the air. Obviously, they'll have the home field to land on. It's an early start, blah, blah, blah. Missouri's definitely a live dog, by the way. There's no denying that. I don't know if Illinois is a live dog per se. I think they can keep this respectable, though. Really, where I worry about them is their secondary. Illinois' coverage is horrendous. If you look at the metrics, passing yards allowed per attempt, just general passing stats, it's not good for them. They have been getting torched through the air. Now, the question is Ohio State built to do that? Sayin has been efficient. There's no doubt about that. 1 second. I haven't sneezed on a stream in quite a long time, but I had to there. Apologies. Sayin has been good, though. I mean, he's throwing for really efficient numbers. He's not running. And you do have to wonder some of the level of competition. They've handled it, but the defense has been absolutely outstanding. Outstanding defense. And that is where what can Altmaier do for Illinois against this Ohio State front? Those are the questions that you have to ask yourself here. I still think this is a pretty methodical game. This is not my favorite bet on the board, but if you're telling me you need a play in this game, I would take the points before I would lay them at 14.5. I think it's probably better to just pass, to be completely honest. But yeah, if you're looking for one of the two big plays at noon, that's probably where I would look. Let's scroll here. I don't mind Michigan State and Moneyline parlays. Kind of relates to, let's talk boost builder for a second. So the thing about this boost, as you get more and more legs, the boost increases. So your margins get wider and wider. So what you want to do is isolate, hopefully, efficient lines that also have a good chance to win. Now, you have to go shorter than minus 400 or it doesn't count. But this is where something like that can really help you. Michigan State fits. Florida State fits. There's a lot of these today. Toledo is right there. It doesn't mean just blindly take them. Cincy is right there. But if you add some of those in, whether you do a combination of just those or you have a couple of those with some straight, standard spreads, you're really going to increase the effectiveness of the boost. Certainly going to be more and more plus EV as you add legs, but obviously keep in mind, the more legs you add, of course, by definition, the more likely you are to lose. So it's just a push and pull, but keep that in mind when you're using the boost builder. Try to get higher expected wins in there and let the boost do the work for you. All right, let's keep scrolling because I got some games here. Shout out to Akron, by the way. This team respects coin. They respect money. They've been awesome for me. I have to look more at this. I don't have them on the card right now, and I don't have plans to put them on the card. Here we go. I'm going to do something right on the screen that could get me into trouble, but I don't care. Look at that. You see that? Oklahoma State plus 15.5. This team is a mess. I'm trying to buy low here on Oklahoma State. So they are terrible. They're 1-4. They lost their coach. They just lost to Arizona by 28 points. They don't really play defense. And it's just a disaster at quarterback. But they have made the switch to Sam Jackson at quarterback. Now, Sam Jackson's a wide receiver. Now, he's played a little quarterback, but he is a wide receiver. I actually like this idea, and this is the genesis of why I'm doing this. I think that they're better served having a pseudo triple option attack than doing anything else. You look at Houston, they're 4-1. They got crushed by Texas Tech, just not in the same caliber of team as them. And they've handled everybody else. They handled Oregon State, Rice, Colorado, and Stephen F. Austin. But honestly, Oklahoma State, to me, is in that bucket of those type of teams. And those scores were not that lopsided, particularly away from home. They won in Corvallis by 3 points. I know this is very greasy. I'm going to actually just put this in right now. It feels uncomfortable. I will be the first to tell you that. But I actually think we can buy on Oklahoma State today. We're getting 15.5 right here. I'm putting this in, and honestly, I feel pretty good that they can slow this game down. I'm not super impressed with Houston. It's always a little scary when you're backing a team with no identity. But man, I'm doing it. Oklahoma State just submitted. It will populate on Tails in just a second, and you'll get the alert. Again, that's why you want to follow. You'll get that push notification, and you'll be able to one-click bet it. Come and join me on Oklahoma State. I'll give this a quick refresh, and we're going to see it pop up right here. Look at that. And again, I can't say enough. One click, and you're in. Totally free. Right here. Get over to Tails, and there are hundreds and hundreds of people. This is just me. We've got leaderboards wired up, by the way. Look at this, showing you all different splits, most likes, who's trending. Hey, shout out to me for being in second there. Heaters, all this really cool stuff. Changing the platform in a good way each and every day. Shout out to our devs. People are already tailing. Look at this. You can hit the fire emoji for me. But yeah, I'm going Oklahoma State. No doubt about it. One of the plays. Didn't expect to get to earlier in the week, but here we are. All right, let's keep going. Chat, you said Texas money line. I do think Arch will be better today. I'm an Oklahoma backer in life. I'm not betting the game. I'll be honest, at 1.5, if I had to, I think I would go against my team that I bought in the preseason. I think I'd be with you on Texas money line. I really respect Texas's defense. This is going to be a low-scoring game, but I don't know what to expect from the Oklahoma quarterback situation. And for that reason, it's very difficult for me to have a side there. I do think the over on Arch's passing number, if you can play props, is worthwhile. Old Dominion, one of my favorite teams in the country. If you don't know, you should know that Old Dominion is awesome. They don't mess around. They scored 45 again last week. We were on them against Coastal. The only time they had a slip up was against Liberty, and they still won the game by 2 touchdowns. They just had 4 turnovers in that game, 2 missed field goals. Old Dominion is awesome. Their only loss is to Indiana to open the season by a couple of touchdowns. There's no shame in losing to Indiana. If Oregon loses to Indiana, there will be massive shame for me because that's going to be a very important bet. And why don't we get there right now? What do you say? Let's go to the big game. Quack, quack, quack. Oregon, Indiana. Here we go. There's 7 out there, and that is what I want. I will bring it up right on tails. I already put this in. I really like Oregon. This is a team. Let's just get it all out there. I've been wrong about Indiana quite a bit. They're good. They're a good team. I liked Illinois against them, and it was a 50-point beatdown. I liked Iowa against them. Iowa covered. We won our bet, so no harm, no foul. But there's no doubt that Indiana is a very legitimate team. They've got a great quarterback in Mendoza. He's got dual threat ability when he needs to. They've run through their schedule. Their only competitive game was Iowa. It was also their only road game. They're off a bye. There's a lot to like. And the offensive line has been fantastic. That, I think, will be tested a little more. They haven't played anybody like Oregon. Now, this is where it gets very tricky. You look at the Ducks. They rolled through everybody. And then they played Penn State on the road in the whiteout. I thought, first of all, Penn State would win. I also thought it was maybe the most impressive win that we'll see all year after Oregon did it. But then Penn State lost to UCLA. So you do have to ask, or I'm asking myself, how good is Penn State? What does that data point even mean now? That is something that's really tricky to decipher with this Oregon team. I look at them. I still really believe in everything that they're doing. They're also at home where they're as deadly as any team. It's not like the books don't know that. You're not getting anything over on them. With that in mind, I think that this defense will step up today. And it's not that they've been bad by any stretch. And they've looked good in their biggest moments. You just have to ask yourself, who has Oregon really played? That is my biggest concern. I don't think Indiana's played anyone great either. Illinois was fantastic. The game got away from them. You live to fight another day. I'm going to roll with the Ducks here. I do think that you can go Moneyline parlays as well, minus 270 range, give or take. I try not to do that because most of the time you're just giving up too much juice. They can juice those. People click and they say, oh, well, this team's not going to lose and this team's not going to lose. And they make 6 legs and it pays out, plus 130 and you go 5 of 6 and then you say you got unlucky. That is not how that works. If you're doing a lot of that, please don't do that anymore. You got to find lines that are efficient. You can't just click those money lines just because they should win. I do like Oregon, though, at home. I still am believing that Indiana's a good team, but they're not a great team. And Oregon is also off the bye, just like Indiana. We're going to learn a lot about both of these teams. They're both healthy. Everything is all systems go for both of them. Should be a great game. Great game. All right, let's keep it going. I'll talk Tennessee and Arkansas for you, no problem. Let's see. I don't have a strong lean right off the bat, but I will see what I can find here. And I've talked about this game a little bit this week. I certainly looked at it. It's the type of game, honestly, it should, famous last words, but it feels like it should play pretty similar to the spread. Arkansas can't stop anybody. They just gave up 56 points to Notre Dame. Now, that was 2 weeks ago. They're off a bye. Memphis got them. Certainly, Ole Miss got them for another 40 points. And they're going to Tennessee, who's 4-1. They had to go into Mississippi State land, which is not that easy. Honestly, I think that win looks better than we certainly would have anticipated at the beginning of the year. Apologies. 68.5 point total, and that seems probably warranted. I mean, Tennessee, their team total is massive, as you can imagine. You're talking like a 40-point team total here. They probably clear it. I honestly, if I had to bet this is what I would do right here. How are they not breaking 40? They break 40 every week. Arkansas stopped nobody. This is probably what, 23 and a half, 20 and a half. Honestly, this is playable too. Both of these. These are greasy plays. There's no doubt about it. That is the angle for me. Just Tennessee scoring. That's the thing I feel most confident about in this game. Certainly the minus 390 for a boost builder, but this is about all I got here for you. I just think Tennessee will ultimately score. Arkansas has shown the ability to stop nobody. I don't think a bye week fixes that. I really don't. All right. Yeah, I like the Tennessee spread. That's fair. Yeah. South Florida, North Texas. It was a fun watch in life. North Texas had 5 turnovers. You just can't win like that. Any takes on Alabama, Missouri? I talked about that at the top of the show. The short version is I think that Alabama will win the game. I like Alabama. I laid the 3 points. Let's keep it going, and then we got to build our teaser. That's going to be a fun way to close this show. These are tough games. Florida, Texas A&M, Purdue, Minnesota. Again, they're all in the same range. Georgia, Auburn. Whew, that's going to be an absolute battle. Dogs could be on life support if they lose that. That'd be 2 losses. Still plenty of SEC play. Tough game to bet. But I got one bet for you here before we get to the teaser piece. Actually, I'm going to give you 2 quick ones. One, Arizona at home. Very dangerous live dog here. Plus 114, plus 2.5. I'm putting this is going on into the card right now. All right, here we go. We're going one late night live dog. CFB Arizona Moneyline plus. Let's see what we can get over here. I like this Arizona team, and I think BYU is absolutely primed to get knocked off. This is a good spot to do just that. BYU primed to get knocked off. Tough environment. Look at this, and we're putting this right in, and this will be available right on Tails. The plays are just going to continue all day, so I know I've said it a couple of times, but for anybody watching, if you have not been over here, go to tails.bet. You can search me at JazzRez. Go to oddchopper.com and click Tails. There's a million ways to get there, and the plays are just going to be dropping on the free picks feed all day. It's not just me. Look at this. So many people are going to have plays after play. It's endless. Hockey, there's like 30 games today in a hockey. It's insane. No one played yesterday. So if you're looking for things, you pick your followers, you get a curated feed, or you can just explore and you can discover new people you don't know about. You say, man, all right, I'm going to tail this guy. And again, one-click tailing with this AI mapping, it is really, really fun, and it's really, really cool. Get over there and get involved. And again, give me a follow. Totally free to follow as well. Arizona at night is a spot, though. No doubt about it. Utah is a spot. No doubt about it. So, couple things at this game. I liked Utah to begin with. And now Sam Leavitt's not playing for Arizona State. So they've got Jeff Sims, who didn't even know he was there. I feel even better about this. Arizona State's in trouble here. They have lived dangerously, a couple of 3-point wins back to back. Luck, or whatever you want to call it, catches up to them tonight. This is a problem for them. They are going to have a problem. Now, maybe they can just run the ball against Utah's front. I guess that's probably their best out. The secondary for Utah freaks me out, but Arizona State's not built to exploit it. The line has come up. It was 5.5. It's going to push 10 now. I grabbed it. It's in. I like Utah in this spot. How do I feel about James Madison? Do I have anything with Florida? Let's see. Let's see what we can find with a couple of these games here. I don't have anything with Florida, by the way. I think for me, they're a battle-tested good team. They're going into College Station. That's a hard game. If I had to play anything, it would be an under 47.5. But if you forced me to make a pick in the game, I would take the points. But I don't see myself playing that. That's just a very difficult game. James Madison, I think they're an early game. Or maybe I made that up. No, I didn't make that up. 18.5, that's a lot. So I will say this. I know this sounds crazy, but James Madison and Old Dominion, they clash next week, I believe. Let me just confirm that before I say anything that's inaccurate for you. But I'm pretty damn sure they play next week. That could affect a big spread like this. James Madison obviously needs to win, but they really need next week. Yeah, they play Old Dominion next week. Louisiana's pretty down. They just gave up 50 points to Marshall. Now, they did win that game. Credit to them. They don't play any defense. I think JMU really roughs them up, but late in that game, my guess is JMU is gearing down because they've got a clash with Old Dominion next week, and that could be the game for both of those teams. So keep that in mind as you're looking. Before I build this teaser, by the way, if there's any game I didn't get to, at JazzRazBets, right on Twitter, just tweet me. I'd be happy to look into it. Of course, I have all the content here on OddsShopper, and I'm going to be dropping bets all day on tails. So if you want to come and tail them, have some fun and sweat them out, you know where to find me. Link in the description of this video. All right. Public announcement before anybody yells at me. Betting teasers in college football is a bad idea. I don't recommend this, but they're fun as hell, and we're doing one right now. We're going to go 4-leg teaser, and we're going to see what we can do here. All right. Old Dominion on the board. Throw out some legs if you've got them, by the way, chat. I'm happy to get weird. We're not crossing 0. I'm going with Arizona. That's 2. Let's see what else we can find here. I'm going with Oklahoma State. So a lot of teams that I've talked about. Low total games help. The value of the points is very, very high. I can't click Illinois. I want to, but I can't. Do I dare? God, that'd be such a disgusting sweat. Georgia Tech. That's a good suggestion. That's chat. That's why I pay you people the big bucks. Very good. All right. Look how disgusting. This is absurd. This is a low point and a high point in my life simultaneously. All right. Look at this beauty. Minus 125 for that. Honestly, again, I'm going to have to play this just for the sweat. That looks fantastic. Look at that beauty. Minus 125 on a 4-leg 14-point teaser. Wow, that's disgusting, but I love it. You know, I mean, this is what you say when you talk teasers. How the hell could that lose? Show me what leg loses there. Old Dominion's not losing. I'd be stunned if Arizona gets blown out at home. Oklahoma State, they could get blown out, but to give up lose by 30, that's pretty bad. And then chat nailed it. Georgia Tech. Virginia Tech is just bad. I would love it. I'm sorry for your troubles. Marshall will have better days, my friend. All your good players went to Southern Miss. There's nothing you could do. Old Dominion is going to run through them. Yeah, I mean, Oklahoma State sucks. I totally get it. There's no doubt. But is Houston really going to dominate on the road? We're going to find out. The answer might be yes. Full disclosure. It's a dangerous game. Cincinnati minus 11.5. Yeah, Cincinnati's a good team. They're the type of team, by the way. They belong in the boost parlay. No doubt. They're a good candidate for the boost parlay. But if you want to play a teaser and you want to get disgustingly weird, I'm going to drop this on Tails later today. I've got to now. It is as greasy as it gets, but I am absolutely here for it. That was fun. That was very fun. I appreciate that suggestion. We're here to have some fun in the morning. That's what we just did. Quick little half-hour show, friends. Last comment, Nevada. I'll take a quick look. Got about 30 seconds left. San Diego State, They're a team built on defense, 42.5-point total. You're getting 7.5 at home. Nevada's a bad football team, there's no doubt, but they're not that bad, honestly. Seen them a little bit this year. All those teams strike me as interchangeable. They're 1-4, but they've kept it competitive. They lost by 3 to Fresno. They lost by 1 to Middle Tennessee State. They were destroyed by Penn State. That's a throwaway. And they were handled by Western Kentucky by 15. Reminds me a little of Colorado State from last night. And then you look at San Diego State, they're 4-1. They've looked awesome defensively. But who have they really played? Some decent competition, but Washington State destroyed them. They're not exactly immune to any of that. Illinois, yeah, you could tease them up if you wanted to. Any thoughts on UCLA game today? Yeah, my thought on that is that they're probably overvalued after what happened last week. I would take Michigan State, but more of a pass, to be honest. I think that was just obviously, listen, we know it was a fluke game. They're not better than Penn State. They played well, though. And maybe they found whatever the hell was going on with the quarterback situation. Nico looked good. He did. I still don't really think that UCLA traveling is a thing, though. When is the boosted parlay dropping? It'll drop right on Tails right after this, completely free. I'll put out what I'm doing with it. So just keep an eye out. Again, you go over there, go to Tails, you just press follow. It's absolutely free. All the free content gets right to your device. I'm going to structure a handful of these money lines for me, and I think we'll be in business, friends. I appreciate everyone tuning in. You guys make this fun, so thanks to you. Really do appreciate it. If you want to hit the like button on your way out, thanks again. And if there's anything I can help with, you know where to find me at JazzRazBets. Good luck today. Let's see if we can cash some of the tickets. I think we did some pretty damn good work on this show. We're going to recap it all next week. So same time, same place. Enjoy the day of games. Make some money.